We're in an existing house that's probably about 30 years old. Client called about a suspicion of microbial growth. So I've been through the house, found many issues in the house. So I'm up in the attic now, so we'll do an attic tour. Quick attic tour. So there's a lot of homeowner stuff, storage up here, which is the most inhospitable environment on earth. I don't know why people want to store stuff up here, but it is what it is. So right here we have our chimney chase, chimney pipe. It goes down into the chimney chase, and as you can see, it's wide open. So that sheathing that you see back there, and the gypsum board just below it, that is in fact exterior wall, which should be executed as such. And as you can see, it has no insulation, no air barrier, no nothing. Just raw drywall, and you can see all the way down in there. That's my fireplace with some wiring going through the wall. And it's like that on both sides, all three sides. So typical missing insulation around the can lights, which you're not allowed to insulate around. We have a small short knee wall right here from a high ceiling to a lower ceiling. Once again, these knee walls are exterior walls and should be treated as such. Here we have a couple of bays with nothing, no insulation, and then the rest of it is typical execution. We have insulation very poorly installed with no air control, no vapor control whatsoever. A lot of garbage, debris up here. We have a lot of reptile feces around that edge back there. This little 4-inch pipe is an attempt at combustion air for the fireplace. I don't know if you can see that back there, but there is actually a mouse trap or a rat trap. Thank goodness there's nothing in it. That's a good sign. We have a bathroom vent that was recently ducted out. No insulation around it, no air sealing measures. Well, I take that back. There is some spray foam down there. Very poorly executed. The duct basically does a 180. It is crimped, crunched up. It is not stretched out whatsoever, not strapped, and it is just dropped into the soffit back there. It does not go outside. That white PVC pipe that you see back there in the corner is the emergency overflow for the AC system. It runs all the way across about 20 feet or so. And then notice how high off of that ceiling joist it is. It's about 3 or 4 inches high. It runs this way, and it's touching the ceiling joist. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. So it's actually up pitched, and it goes that way, and it gets tied into the emergency overflow on that system. This white PVC right here that's insulated is the main drain line. It has a belly in it right there where it's insulated, and then the insulation stops right there, and you can see it is full of microbial growth, water staining, and it too in fact is up pitched. I don't know if you can tell that. And then it runs all the way over there to a P-trap, which is not insulated, and it is condensating as well. So this system was recently retrofitted with new return airs, trunk line, new supply air, plenum, and all new flex ductwork. And as you can see, they had good intentions. They were well intended, but they just executed very poorly. The reason this was done was because of the suspicion of microbial growth inside the ductwork. Okay, and you can see back there's a 30-year-old water heater. So the contractor that did all the ductwork left a bunch of trash up here. Just very, very sloppy. Left a bunch of garbage. They did run a return from all the way to the other side of the house, which is fine. They just well-intended but poorly executed. So this is the issue. So we have a system, air handler, that is roughly 7 years old or so. And keep in mind, the HVAC contractor was called out for suspected microbial growth in the system. So he recommended all new ductwork, which once again was well intended, just poorly executed. However, he done nothing with the AC system itself, the air handler itself. So this air handler is a carrier unit, it is a negative pressure unit. So we have countless entry points from the attic. This plug right here was actually cracked open. We have some electrical high voltage with no connector, no sealing whatsoever, no air sealing. We have low voltage, no connector, no air sealing. And we have some microbial growth. And this is the blower housing with a tremendous amount of microbial growth. This is the motor, the blower motor. The wires have a tremendous amount of microbial growth. This is the coil, the evaporator coil. And as you can see, this is the outlet side of the coil. So the inlet side is probably a lot worse than this side. And as you can see, we have quite a bit of microbial growth here. I mean, it's pretty substantial. We have some water damage, obvious signs of condensation issues, drain issues. Another thing with this unit is this main drain line is actually double trapped, possibly even triple trapped because of a belly in it. I'm surprised it's even draining. We do have an overflow switch that looks like it's pitched up on the secondary port. My overflow pan does have an overflow switch in it. Just very, very sloppy. So obviously we have microbial growth. We did do some zonal pressure testing in the house. The house is in fact going into negative pressure. We have no air sealing measures taken whatsoever in the attic. We have improperly assembled knee walls. We have ineffective, poorly executed insulation throughout the house. And we have some pretty nasty microbial growth, as I mentioned. We have a safety issue with high voltage rubbing on a sheet metal cabinet, which if it rubs through and energizes this cabinet, homeowner comes up and accidentally touches it and gets electrocuted and falls on the attic floor dead. So there's a lot of stuff up here that's unacceptable in my opinion. However, it is typical. The incompetence in this industry is staggering, as I always say. Come on, guys. Like, you see the implications of this. It's not difficult to do this stuff properly. Let's up our game a little bit. Homeowners are suffering the consequences of our incompetency. Let's get it together, guys. We're supposed to be professionals here. This is pitiful. This is pitiful, to say the least. This homeowner called and had an AC contractor come out and check the system for microbial growth. He replaced the return, supply plenums, and all the ductwork. Never once opened the unit up.